wants him in the games until he dies playing. Acknowledge.
Acknowledge. Master Control.
End of line.
Okay, so I want to do a little showdown here of three very inexpensive virtual reality headsets that are basically just an enhanced version of Google Cardboard. And they're all basically plastic, and just a little better way of trying out virtual reality without buying a very inexpensive piece of cardboard that'll probably not last too long, or a very expensive Oculus Rift or something similar. This is just a way to really whet your appetite for what you may experience with them. And actually all three of these I've been using, and they're all fine, some a little bit better than others, and that we're going to talk about here. So the one all the way on the left, I got that one from Best Buy for only $19.99, and that even included a Bluetooth hand controller. Now the other two did not include a Bluetooth controller, but there's ways around that. And to be quite honest, being Google Cardboard, a lot of it's simply done by moving your head around. You don't really even need a controller, but it's still a nice touch. The one in the center I got off eBay for I believe about $14 with free shipping. You see it's a very plain box, not too much to show you on that one. Then all the way on the right, I got this just recently from Job Lots for $4.99, the Extreme VR. And again, all of them are fairly comparable, some a little bit better in certain areas than others, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But right now you can just see how the boxes would look on the shelf, except for the center one, which was from eBay. You won't really see too much on that one. And a quick shot on the back of the box. So the Best Buy one and the Job Lots one, you can see, you can definitely get a little feel of what they would be just by reading the box and the contents of it. The one from eBay, obviously there's nothing on the box, but you saw pretty much everything you needed to see on the website, eBay. So upon opening them, you can see that the one from Best Buy is a box within a box, so they have it really well protected in the packaging. Even the one from eBay, it's a box within a box, again very well protecting the device. The one from Job Lots, it's just basically a very thin cardboard box with it sitting right inside. So just be careful if the boxes are smashed at all. You probably don't want to pick up that one. It's a possibility, doesn't mean it is, but a possibility that the device inside may be broken or damaged. There's really no protection in that box. Now the first one we're going to take a look at today is the Utopia 360. I got again for $19.95 at Best Buy. I believe right now it may have gone up to $29. That's where I got some feedback from some friends of mine. But you can see all of these will work with an Android device or an Apple device. So basically the phone really contains all the hardware, the accelerometer, when you're moving your head around and so forth. So basically these headsets are really just a shell to hold it, but it does kind of matter on the quality of that headset. So you can see the front of the box here, it's a nice looking box, and the back of the box again gives you some nice information about it. A nice feature of the Utopia one right here is this right here. You can actually slide this cover over to make it true VR, or you could slide it back to make an augmented reality, and you're like, why do you care about that? Well, first of all, the other two don't do this at all, but it's a nice touch. There are some apps. I remember in the Android market there's a Ghost Hunter where you actually would, sort of like what the new Pokemon game is right now, you put this headset on and you can see not only your virtual reality, but in the real world as well. So if a ghost is going down your neighborhood, you can actually see it. It just adds extra features, which is kind of nice for that $19. It's just a nice touch that they added that feature. So again, here's inside the box. The box pulls out from inside the box. And then you got an instruction manual and some other things in here. So let's take a look at them. So when we pull everything out, you have your instruction manual, your actual VR headset with a nice cleaning cloth, a nice quality cleaning cloth, your Bluetooth controller, which is a switch on here for Android and iPhone, and a couple of pieces of foam that you would use basically to hold your phone in if it didn't sit in too well. I actually didn't need this for my phones, but again, a nice touch to include pretty much everything you would need to get started out of the box. And here's just a closer shot of it. Everything is really well packaged in the plastic. It's even a high quality plastic, if that makes sense. You buy some things from China, you'll see in a minute, the plastic is a very brittle plastic. And they even covered, again, the shielding here with another piece of plastic, just to make sure everything's protected in shipping, and that's just nice. And just another close-up of the manuals. They have two versions of this. When I went to Best Buy, this was $14. This was $19 with the Bluetooth controller, so obviously I went for that one. Here's the controller with a switch for Android and iOS, and just a couple pieces of foam if you needed to secure your phone and the device a little bit better. Now, out of all three headsets, this one definitely had the best foam here. It's like I'll call it a pleather, a plastically leather top, but it does matter if you're sweating. It doesn't get into the foam. And it's really padded very, very nice. I would definitely give this one the highest marks for both the foam here and the headband. I thought they were both very comfortable. And you can see they put a plastic covering over the lenses. You pulled off to make sure they were kept nice and clean. So this really gets high marks overall for that. Now there's no padding around the nose area here, but the padding was so well here, my nose really didn't even hit here. So another high marks for that. But you could also probably get a small piece of memory foam or something here if you wanted to put it here. I didn't need it. This foaming here was really well on my face anyway. Now the one thing I would say that was bad when I got this one, this is just a piece of foam to help, I guess, keep light out when you close this up. And this was not even on well at all. This was actually dangling across here and it was stuck on really off. So I had to take a hairdryer and I just heated this up with a hairdryer for about 30 seconds, just enough to get this tacky again. Pulled this off and you can see I'm a bit meticulous. I got it on perfect. So again, it probably won't happen on everybody's, but you can definitely tell that when they put this one together, they just slapped it in. You have an adjustment here for a focus, the adjustment here for another focus as well. You would use this to scan it if you want to get some apps from Google Cardboard if you needed to. Here is your tray. It is spring-loaded, which is kind of nice. When you pull one side up, it does not pull the other side up, so you have to pull them both apart, so sometimes that's a little bit of a pain to get the phone in, but I found that all these are kind of that way in this price range. But it does snip in, and when it does, it sits in there quite nice. And they use a magnet here, which is a good and a bad. So this magnet is pretty strong and holds it on here, but when my son was fooling around, he was really shaking the headset hard in his hand, not on his face, but in his hand, and it opened up and the phone fell out. So it wouldn't happen probably in the normal VR use, but just want to let you know that that's a possibility if you're fooling around and going too hard with it. It's possible that it can open up. A little piece of tape if you wanted to on top to hold it down and probably take care of that. But again, I like the overall quality of the plastic. Again, for $19 with all that was included, I thought this was a bargain. And you can see the phone's clipped in really nice here. It holds in very well. Again, it's just sometimes a little bit of a pain because you get one side in, the other side may pop out. So if you had three hands, it'd probably be easier. But again, I'm just nitpicking on this. It's just how these are for this price range. And just a shot of the lenses here. Everything is nice and clean. There was no like debris or anything inside the unit, so at least that was good when they shipped it. And again, another shot of the hand controller. There's two buttons here, and I'll show you more on the top over here. And basically it's treated, there's different options for this. It could be a joystick. You can set up to be a joystick, a mouse, and I'll show you that in a minute in the instruction manual. So it almost looks like the Wii nunchuck. It just has a couple more buttons on it. And here we go. So you have a power button here, an indicator light, 4 buttons, and this with a button will set up different modes, and I'll show you that in a second. Again, it's shut out of the front of the Utopia with a little plastic overlay on the sliding cover that goes back and forth. And you can see it is now slid open with the phone inside. Now my phone looks like it's over too far, but it probably is. I just closed it really quick. The phone will probably be sitting over here a little bit more and get a better view outside this opening. You can see here's the nunchuck device again, and it's just treated as a gamepad, at least in the mode I initially set it up as, via your phone, via Bluetooth. So again, very easy to set up. There's no codes you need to put in. It'll just connect and that's it. Now here's the manual. They talk about it, and you can set up to a music video mode if you want to control your radio or music app or video app with it. There's 2 game modes if it's a horizontal game or vertical game. I ended up setting up as just a mouse, so I used the &D, and that's how I was using the device as. So as you can see here, I currently have this device set up as a mouse, and you can see the mouse pointer on my phone. Instead of having to move your head to a location and hold it for a few seconds, you can now simply make selections by moving the mouse and clicking a button. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, 2 of the headsets did not include any type of Bluetooth hand controllers, and that's okay because Google Cardboard doesn't require a hand controller. But if you do happen to have a Bluetooth mouse or a Bluetooth joystick, you can very easily add these to your cell phone, and it will put a little pointer on screen that you can use to make selections. I won't say it's better to have these or worse to have these. Personally, I don't like to use them. I prefer just to look at the spot and make a selection, but it's nice to have the option if you have one of these available to you. So the next device we're going to take a look at real quick is the no-name one from eBay, and this was $14. And it's just a regular cardboard box. It's a good heavy stock cardboard box, so it was pretty well shipped. You can see it was even dented in shipping when I had gotten it, but the inside cardboard took the brunt of it, and nothing happened to the unit itself. And here it is. The strap is not as good as the Utopia or the foam, but they're still pretty adequate. And the plastic itself also is not as strong as the Utopia, but again, for $14, I was pretty impressed. Now, they didn't use a magnet. They actually used a latch. So that's could be a little bit nicer. It depends how you like it. This one definitely will not open when it's latched, so that's good. And you can see the latch goes down here and into here. Again, it's a spring-loaded mechanism. The Utopia had a slightly nicer one, but same principle. You got to pull these up, pull that down, put your phone in, clip on it. Again, sometimes three hands is more of as a help, because some phones, when they have a curved back, have a hard time sitting in there. But again, it just takes a moment. Once you get it in, it stays pretty well. And here's a shot of the lenses. Again, when it was shipped, very clean. You have adjustments here again for the focusing and how far away you are from the screen. So if you need to wear eyeglasses, there will not be a problem. And again, you can see the latches here. This will clip right into here. And here's a shot of the foam. Sorry, looks like a hair from my head. I'm losing my hair. That's no secret. So the foam around here is adequate, but you can see it's just regular foam. So eventually this can get kind of wet with sweat. Not that I sweat a lot, but it's just a possibility for anybody. The headband was okay. It didn't bother me too much in my nose because it's pretty light even with a phone in there. But this one definitely could have used a little piece of something here just because the foam was not as thick as the Utopia. So in extended use, this could bother people's noses. So you might want to put a little piece of foam or fabric here to help with that. And again, you have sliders here for your lenses here. This is mostly in my first video, which I've linked down below if you want to know more about this particular unit. And the final unit I got is the $4.99 Extreme VR from Joblots. And you can see the box is pretty eye-catching. It says it does screens from 3.5 to 6 inches. And again, they show you how you install your phone. Now this one is a little bit different. This one does not use springs. I'll show you that in a second. It actually uses suction cups, which in my opinion is, again, it's $5 for this thing. But suction cups kind of work. It depends on the phone. I have a bunch of them. Some phones would not stick at all. Others stuck on there fine. But again, that's not probably the best way, because even suction cups over time using it could come loose. Didn't come loose for me, but it's definitely not as secure as a spring-loaded holding mechanism. And definitely out of all of them, the plastic on this one is probably the cheapest, thinnest, which you'd expect. Again, it was only $5. And there is no button or magnet. It's basically you have to just press down in this section right here to pop this off. Again, it works. It does lock it closed, but sometimes it's hard to get on if you feel like you're going to maybe break it trying to open it. But again, we're talking $5 here for your phone holder for a virtual reality experience. And you can see in here, again, these are the suction cups. Again, on the phones I used, most of them stuck on here pretty well. A couple didn't want to stick because the backing on the phone was not smooth. It was like a soft rubbery substance, and it just would not stick. Again, you could probably lay your phone here and close it real quick and get it to stay, but again, this is a pain. I'll put a couple pieces of Velcro with double-sided tape or something. But this was definitely the cheapest of all of them, and it shows. The lenses here, the focusing is done by turning the gear here. There's no like outside mechanism to do it. You have to kind of put it on your face, pull it off, focus. It takes a while to get these right, but it did have the adjustments here, which positions the lenses left and right. So you can see a better shot here of how you would focus them over here. There's no external way to focus them. So this is probably the closest to a Google Cardboard in a plastic form. And this foam is absolutely, you would expect to be the thinnest and the cheapest of the bunch. And now I found this to be the most uncomfortable one to use. It was extremely painful around the nose. This would definitely need a piece of foam in here or something, and then it would feel okay. But when I was using it, I had to take it off. This was really bothering me. Now my son used it later, and he found this one to be better than the one I got off for $14 off eBay. So maybe the size of your nose matters, but I found this to be most uncomfortable. head strap to being the hardest one to keep the center part. There's three. There's one that comes on your right and left, and then over the top of your head. This one kept sliding off constantly. So this one I found the most annoying. Here's that center strap right here. It's locked here, but on the back, it's just kind of like wrapped around. It's not attached, and it just kept sliding left and right. I found it to be a real pain. And these are, again, your adjustments for your left and right lens. Okay, let's see how these three compare. My son's going to try them on and see how comfortable they are.
This one is actually very comfortable and spacious, so this one is actually very comfortable. This one's great. Ooh, cramps. Ooh. Ooh, very cramped. This one is not the most comfortable one. It's a little tight and uncomfortable. It's not the best one. This is comfortable, but not as comfortable as the first one, but I think the least comfortable one was the second one. This one actually has a little bit more space and is a little bit more comfortable. Oh!
Okay, after using all three of these headsets personally, and my son using them as well, we have our results. We both agreed that the Utopia 360 was the best of the bunch. It was the most comfortable to wear, had the best foam around your eye, and caused less fatigue than the other three did. And having the ability to have a Bluetooth hand controller was kind of nice. It wasn't a selling point. The bigger thing was that the actual headset was more comfortable on your face. Now on the next two, we both kind of disagreed, and maybe it's because I'm bigger than him currently. He's still growing up. He found that the one from eBay was too close to his face when he had his eyeglasses on. It was better when he took his eyeglasses off, but he still felt that the headset itself was uncomfortable. Whereas I felt that the Extreme VR was much more uncomfortable, actually very painful to use around my nose area. But him being smaller, his nose was smaller, he found that one to be more comfortable. But again, if you do see any of these, they're probably all fine for just trying it out. But there's no question that the Utopia 360 out of this bunch was the best. I personally went with the eBay one. My son went with the VR View. So I hope this kind of helps just give you an idea. Again, these are all very inexpensive, so they're all worth giving it a shot if you come across one. But in this comparison video, the Utopia 360 is definitely the winner. Thank you for watching.